Well, if you are looking for a sport that is graceful like soccer, aggressive like rugby, and requires teamwork like football, we may have it for you, but it's all in the pool. Hi there and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. I'm Christy Pick, and today we are hanging out at the Family Leisure Centre with Medicine Hat's very own water polo team. Yes, we do have a water polo team, and it's made up of at least 19 competitive players. They're at the end of the season right now, but they're looking for some more players next year. We're going to be talking with their head coach Jason, as well as Brian Cannikins, who is one of the parents of some of the players, to find out what our water polo team players are doing this summer, not only to get ready for next season, but also to spread the Medicine Hat name internationally. Stick around, we have a whole lot of action coming to you here on Shaw. Well, welcome back to the show. Once again, we are up at the Family Leisure Centre today, and I'm joined by Jason, who is the head coach of the Medicine Hat Water Polo team. Now, believe it or not, we do have a water polo team. A lot of people in town, I don't think, know that. Jason, what is water polo?
It's 50-50. We are still getting our name out there. The club's been in existence for 5 years, but yep, a lot of people still don't know we exist yet.
You said that you have about 19 team members who are competitive. Is that right?
That is about right, yeah.
Okay, so what exactly is water polo? Some people aren't quite sure about it.
It's really a hybrid of a lot of sports. There's obviously some wrestling in it, rugby. A lot of people compare it to soccer, but it is fundamentally different. The closest comparison is handball. It's handball in water. Positionally speaking, a lot of basketball influence as well.
So if anybody wants to get involved with the club, do they have to have some experience? What do they need to know?
They need to not drown. That would be the raw fundamental #1 step. It is played in deep water once we get into the competitive stream. That said, we do have our mini polo program that runs on Friday nights, and it runs in the variable depth area. So we bring up the floor so it's chin height on the smallest player so everybody can touch.
Okay, now right now you're actually at the end of your water polo season, but it does fire up again in September, is that right?
Yeah, we just finished provincials about a month ago, and right now we're just spring training. Some of our girls are going to California for Junior Olympics, and we are hosting an event this weekend.
All right, well, we're actually going to find out about those Junior Olympics a little bit later on in the show, and we're also going to see how the team is doing and find out all about how they did this season, so stick around. We have a little bit more coming up here on Shaw. Welcome back to the show. Once again, we're at the Family Leisure Centre, and we are with the Medicine Hat Water Polo team. Joining me today is their coach, Jason. Jason, at Go Southern Alberta, we like to get involved in our show a little bit. Yep. And so today I figured we'd get in the water.
A little bit is better than none, I guess.
A little bit is better than none. Just our feet today. We're not going to get too adventurous, but you have your team right now. They're doing some drills. And actually, one of the questions that Dave and I had was, how good of a swimmer do you need to be to play this sport?
The analogy I use is with regards to hockey. You need to be able to skate to play hockey. In water polo, you need to learn how to do egg beater. Egg beater is the foundation sport. It's an advanced form of treading water. The earlier you can teach it, obviously the better. It is starting to be developed in swim lessons now, finally. Before it was the flutter kick floating, which didn't really teach you any advanced skills. So once you have the egg beater, everything else becomes a lot easier.
So it's really not just about the doggy paddle kind of thing?
Dog paddle would give you troubles because it would be very difficult to catch a ball with both hands in the water.
This is very true. Now, you had mentioned about a month ago you guys finished up provincials. I'm getting wet whether I'm in the water or not.
That's better.
They're okay. How did the team do this year? How did things look?
Alberta Open, we finished 4th, and that's basically Western Canadian finals, which is a pretty strong achievement. Provincial finals, we ended up with the silver.
Okay. Now, for people, like we had mentioned before, that want to get involved, what are some of the things that they need to think about, and what different divisions do you have within the club here in Medicine Hat?
We start as young as 5, and we work not on an age system in our development, we work on basically skills. We have 9, 10-year-olds that move up to the competitive program because they have the fundamental skills. We have 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds that don't have the swimming yet, so they stay in the mini polo, and we keep developing them up until they're ready to move.
What sort of travel is involved with a club like this, and how many tournaments would you do in a year?
It is very much a travel sport. Every 6 weeks or so there is something in southern Alberta, with one event in Edmonton as well. And then we have the big events. This year, a lot of the girls went to California for an event. Seattle is something that we've targeted. Victoria possibly next year.
Okay. Well, I understand that you do have some team members that are going to be going down to California this summer, so we're going to actually talk to one of the parents, Brian Canakins, a little bit later in the show. But do you have any kind of closing words for us? And give me your best pitch for water polo.
Swimming in general is the best physical sport out there. So when you can add the fun of throwing a ball in there and giving a definitive goal rather than just the lanes. Lane swimming's great, you'll get in shape fast. Adding a little bit more fun to it is always better.
And the water is warm. It is so nice here.
Better than a lot of other competition pools.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jason, for your time today. And like I said, we are going to catch up with Brian Canakins just a little bit later on in the show. So stick around here on Shaw. Well, welcome back. Once again, we are at the Family Leisure Center today, and I'm joined by Brian Canakins, who is one of the parents of some of the players on the water polo team. Brian, you actually have some kids who are heading down to the States this summer for a huge tournament.
We do. There's, along with my two daughters, there are 3 other girls from the local club here that have qualified to play in what's called the Junior Olympics water polo tournament. It'll take place in San Jose, California at the end of July, and it's one of the world's largest water polo tournaments that runs.
Now, they're actually playing with a team from Edmonton. They had qualified earlier on. Tell me about some of the experience that they're going to have with this team and really what it means to have Medicine Hat players at this tournament.
So the Edmonton team is a group of girls that were pulled together by the coach there, and so there's the 5 girls from Medicine Hat, 4 from Edmonton, and there are actually 2 girls from Seattle who will be training as well. And they will be in Edmonton for the entire month of July, training together to get ready for this competition. Because it's such a high level of competition, the coach wants them to be together as much as possible and have them prepared to compete as best they can.
So they're going to be spending about 4 weeks in Edmonton, and they're going to be billeted by families there and that sort of thing, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they're going to be training twice a day, so dryland training in the morning and pool training in the evening. And then they will have their weekends off to recover and then get ready to get back at it again the next week.
Now, you told me a little bit earlier off camera that this is not the first time that Medicine Hat water polo players have been invited to be a part of teams like this.
No, we actually have 2 other girls and 2 of the other boys who are also playing with other teams, partly because of numbers here, but also because of their skill level. And coaches have come out and asked them to play with them at some different tournaments. So the program here has really done a great job in developing kids and their skills and being able to showcase those at different tournaments and have other coaches see these kids play and then ask them to join other teams.
Well, certainly impressive, especially when we only have 19 competitive players here in Medicine Hat. Speaks volumes for the parents, speaks volumes for the coaches. So congratulations to their 5 students, and good luck to them this summer, and hope you guys have some fun too.
Thanks very much. The girls are looking forward to it.
If you want some more information about the Water Polo Club, you can go to mhwp.ca. Stick around, we do have a little bit more here on Shaw. Well, one last time, we are down at the Family Leisure Center and hanging out with Medicine Hat's water polo team. If you have never seen this sport, if you have never experienced it, you need to check it out. We'd like to thank our guests today, Jason as well as Brian, and good luck to those girls who are heading down to the Junior Olympics later on this summer. If you want to cheer them on or want to find out some more information about the club, you can go to www.mhwp.ca. While you're online, if you'd like to give us some story ideas or let us know about your club to get a little bit more exposure, you can find us on facebook.com/ShawTV Medicine Hat. We're also on Twitter, of course, at ShawTV The Hat, or myself at Christy_ShawTV. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time here on Shaw.